Welcome to another Game Over, Play It Again podcast. This week we are going to be talking some Super Mario Kart for the NES that came out in 1992. As always, I have Anthony Moore sitting right next to me here. So you want to talk some Mario Kart?
Yeah, sounds like a good time.
All right. Well, how you been?
Oh, I've been good. I'm extra tired today, but I guess that's the nature of the beast. How about yourself? How are you doing?
I'm actually, this is actually a pretty good day. I've been tired all damn week, and now that the weather's going to turn, I'm going to apparently come to life. I don't know how that works, but we'll see how.
Your circadian rhythm's a little out of whack.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah, just don't tell my boss, right? That's how that works. But, yeah, so hopefully we get this damn microphone thing fixed. I don't know what's going on with my headset, but that clicky noise is driving me nuts.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah. I thought we had it fixed for the RC Pro-Am episode, and no. So I'm going to try using just a standard microphone and see how that goes, and we'll get through this one. And then if we need to purchase something else moving forward, we certainly can do that. But if you guys have listened to the previous episodes, there's like a little popping or clicking noise. And I do apologize for that, but we're always trying to get better, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's all you can do.
It's all we can do.
My grandma says that she can't hear the popping or clicking sound, but if you ask me, she's not a reliable source.
That's not... So speaking of grandma, how's she doing?
She's doing pretty well.
Right on.
She, I don't want to out all of her business, but she was attempting to experiment with medical cannabis, and things didn't go well. So she's put that to the wayside for the moment. My grandpa was also attempting to utilize it, and he had the bright idea that he was going to take the supplement and mix it with Orphan Girl whiskey. and drink it before bed. And I guess he didn't get up till about 10 a.m. the next day.
That sounds wonderful.
Which is very unusual for him, because he's usually a 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. kind of guy.
Yeah, that Orphan Girl's some good stuff, though.
It's very good,
yeah,
but with the...
It's a nice bourbon, though.
It is. It's very smooth, but I mean, unless you're a rapper, you're trying to get crossfaded, I told him that those don't mix. That's, it's not a good idea.
Well, speaking of grandparents, yesterday was my grandmother's birthday, and I didn't get over there and go see her. I'm gonna have to do that today.
Definitely.
101 yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that impressive?
It's very impressive.
I don't think I want to live that long. I
can't say I'd want to either.
But no, she's doing great.
That's amazing.
She has she's all there. She's just loving life, and we get to celebrate her birthday at the end of April.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I called up Mom and I'm like, okay, well, what are we doing? Yada yada yada, and she's like, okay, well, we think we're gonna do it on the 27th of April. And I'm like, really? so we won't celebrate her birthday on her birthday because they had something going on.
Sure.
And she sure as shit doesn't want to do it on her birthday.
Right.
But it's okay to do it on my anniversary. But I'm honored, so that'll be good.
That is cool.
Yeah. Still very, very happy that Grandma will never listen to this podcast. But I have sisters, brothers, cousins that will certainly out me, so there's that.
Oh, there you go.
Right. Well, we should probably talk a little Mario Kart.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. So, we picked Mario Kart because the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct came out recently, and everybody's loving all over Mario Kart 9. All
Seems to
right.
be the big thing.
Mario Kart World. I guess we're not supposed to call it 9.
Not supposed to call it 9.
Cool. I hope that just pissed a couple people off.
Maybe your kids.
Definitely my kids. And since they won't hear this until Wednesday, at least they won't be banging on the door till then. But yeah, so Mario Kart World looks amazing.
It looks so awesome.
Oh my gosh! So I was looking through that. It's got the open world, which I think is that could be interesting. I mean, you play Mario Kart to get on the track and go.
Sure. Sure.
So I'm not really sure how well the quote unquote open world is going to go. But I saw the thing where you start out with like 15 racers,
Hmm.
and then you race to point B, and then the last three drop off, and then you go to the checkpoint C, and then a couple more people drop off, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So I think that is going to be badass in itself.
I think that'll be very cool. I have mixed feelings about the open world aspect. If it's done right, it could be really cool.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot of Halo, and when Halo Infinite came out, they marketed it as the open world Halo, which it absolutely was. And I was super excited because I thought it'd be so awesome to get to explore the maps and the worlds that you're on. But it kind of took away from the game instead of adding to it.
Mm.
I was actually really disappointed that it was open world. It lost that authentic feel.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see what Nintendo does with that feature. I have a lot of hope though. They've been putting out some heat lately.
Oh, they have been, and I mean, when you take 10 years to build the next game,
Yeah.
you probably get it right.
I hope so. Of course, Cyberpunk was a disaster when it first came out.
Right, but Nintendo didn't have their hands in that one.
That's true.
But the other thing is that I don't know that it's going to be open world like if you're playing Horizon or Halo Infinite or something like that. I think it's going to be open enough to where, okay, you got done with this track, now you're going to drive to the next track.
Sure.
Maybe more like a Need for Speed type deal.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool. But then, they have the time trials and they have the laps, like they've had forever.
Yeah.
But the character lineup on this thing, it looks like there's 45 different characters with costumes.
Wow. And Tom said that he's going to read them all off individually for us this morning. So take it away.
No, Tom isn't. We did not agree on that. But I did pull them up. So, I could go through that list and we could be here for 5 minutes, and we're not going to do that. But anyway, God, little punk. But we got all these costumes. So Mario, he's going to come in with his all-terrain and cowboy and touring. And then, of course, Luigi's going to do the same. And, we just got all these really cool costumes. But I pulled this up online so we could check them out here. And, Yoshi's got a couple different colors and some costumes. Peach is rocking some kind of touring outfit and some kimono type deal. And why is Daisy wearing a swimsuit?
That's strange.
It is strange. I think I think we got some punk kids on the running table here. But Toad's rocking this hamburger hat thing.
I like that.
I don't get that. We got the Koopa Troopa in there, and he's got his shades and hat on. And then we got Bowser rocking this big old biker outfit and his ATV outfit, and Wario's in there with his bikers, and Waluigi. What the hell is that? Some kind of mariachi setup?
That's what it appears to be. Is that a sombrero?
Yeah, it is. It totally is. We got Rosalina in there, and Pauline. Okay, so that would be the gal from the princess from Donkey Kong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's cool.
Before Princess Peach, we had her. We got the Mario, the baby.
Baby Mario?
Baby Mario. Fuck, I can't talk today.
It's awfully early.
It really isn't. It's like 10 o'clock on a Saturday, dude. We got this. But yeah, so all those characters they have in baby form. Because why wouldn't we? That's how they get the more characters, you know. So they probably have the acceleration down.
I bet they do.
Oh
I bet they're
yeah,
very
hell
fast.
yeah. But they can't reach the pedals, so they can only reach one pedal at a time, right?
Right.
But yeah, all these kids. They got Bowser Jr.'s back in there. You know, everybody's gonna love to hate on him.
Yes.
You know, and Birdo's back. King Boo's in there. He's rocking his old time outfit here. That's a thing.
That is the thing.
That's a thing. Uh, Donkey Kong. That's new Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
Like
wow.
from the Mario movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he got himself a facelift.
I like the shades.
You know who I don't see on there though is Donkey Kong Jr.
True. Very true.
Why the hell didn't they throw him in there?
They have a lot of blank space. I wonder if they're going to add more characters potentially with a DLC or
Oh, you know they're gonna.
they have
I
to.
mean, gosh, Mario Kart 8, they think they have a new character every week, don't they?
They really milked it.
That's a good one, though. But Nabbit, the Wiggler, the Goomba, they put a cow in there.
Where's the double dolphin?
Well, let's see. It says dolphin down here. That other page I was on, yeah, it had a dolphin riding a dolphin car.
Yeah.
That sounds dirty. It sounds really dirty.
It's awful.
They got Dry Bones and Hammer Bro. Yeah, there's just all these different characters, and they all look cool.
They look very cool.
And then they all have their different carts. No wonder they had to wait for the Switch 2.
Yeah.
You know, if they're going to put all this detail into just the characters and the carts, I can only imagine what they have to do with everything and all the different little yahoos and special items and all that good stuff. It's going to be an amazing game.
It's going to be pretty awesome.
But we're not here for that one, even though we want to be here for that one, right? But it is too much. Mario Kart 8 was big too,
Mario Kart 8 was huge.
but it's like half the size of this one.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't take another 10 years.
10 good years.
Sure, 10
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, 10 good years. Well, so speaking of the Switch 2, are you getting one?
I absolutely am.
Day one?
Depends on the tariffs.
You sound like my son. Yeah,
Well,
we were actually talking tariffs at work, and you know, it's funny because we're on, we're off, we're up, we're down. It's all over the place, and I get that. But you know, as someone with a product,
hmm
everyone's going to use it's a tariff, so let's mark our stuff up another 5-10%. They'll never know the difference.
Yeah,
And then when the tariff comes down,
it'll stay the same.
it'll stay. The tariff will go down, but the price of the item will go up, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, hey, the tariffs are back to normal. This is great," and yet they're still paying more.
Right. It's a game.
It's a shill game.
I experienced that a little bit already. I had to go to Walgreens to buy some magnesium citrate, grape flavor. Good stuff, by the way. And
Dude, I'm scared. I'm not ready for that. You're too young for that shit.
and I had originally paid somewhere between $1.30 and $1.45.
Yeah,
It was up over $3.
of course. Well, that's probably just inflation, though. I doubt we get that from overseas.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, like I said, it's an excuse for everybody to raise their rates.
It is.
And we just got done with that, and it's just one more thing, right?
Another thing.
Just another thing.
Every
But
day.
the Switch 2, is it worth the $500?
I think it's definitely worth the $500. Is it worth the potential $699 due to the quote unquote tariff increase?
No shit. That's
I don't
what
know.
they're talking?
That's what some experts are saying. It could potentially go up to.
And they got all these. They have all these already built. They're sitting in a warehouse someplace.
Yeah, they're ready to go.
So like I said, this could just be them jacking up the price and blaming it on that.
Yeah, they're probably already in the U.S. somewhere right now.
Yeah, right.
So
What are those? Oh, those shipping containers are for drugs. No, they're not. It's for my video game addiction.
that container's full of tariffs. Don't open
Yeah,
it.
don't open it yet. But yeah, it's I get it. I think I'm gonna have to wait.
Mm.
I got a lot on my plate coming up for the next year.
Yeah.
So I'll probably wait a year. Maybe all those issues will get worked out by then, and we'll just kind of go from there. But you know what else I saw on the on? Do you have that Nintendo Today app?
I don't.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you got to check that thing out. It has all these pictures of the Mario Kart and information on the Switch 2 that's coming out and like daily. They're always pushing
Ooh.
stuff out, but the photos for Mario Kart are phenomenal. But in there, I don't know if they actually had a Nintendo Direct or if they were just talking about Nintendo stuff on there, but they added 3 more games to the Sega library
Wow.
in that expansion that they do the yearly. What do they call that? Um, well, their yearly subscription
Oh,
service,
yes, they're Nintendo Plus.
right? So they have Streets of Rage 1. They have Super Thunderblade and SWAT. Never heard of
Yes.
it.
Never heard of S-Swap.
No, but I'm looking to forward to firing that up. I've played Streets of Rage. I've played number 4 and I've played number 2, but I've never played 1.
Yeah, the number one looks fun.
Yeah, so we'll check those out. But anyway, yeah, they got a lot of information that's coming out on there, and there's a little calendar, and who doesn't like to see their favorite Mario characters popping up all the time?
Tom likes to see his favorite Mario characters in a bikini, too.
She wasn't wearing a bikini; it was a swimsuit.
Sure.
Sure.
So, this app, is it kind of like the modern day Nintendo Power?
Probably, yeah. Nintendo Power, yeah, I'd buy that. But the cool thing is, it's free, so I don't have to buy it.
You don't have to buy it? I
No,
like it.
it just takes up memory on my phone. Uh, are we done screwing around?
Were we screwing around?
Probably. We'll get. Yeah, I'm sure we could get opinions on that, but we won't go for opinions on that. So let's talk a little Mario Kart. So where should we start with this game?
Well, I started out on the wrong game
Again?
again.
Why?
I truthfully wasn't aware that Mario Kart came out on the older Nintendo systems. I thought its first release was on the 64.
Oh, and
Uh,
I keep saying the original Nintendo. It wasn't on the original Nintendo.
right.
It's on the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. So,
I was at least playing the right game, though.
you were playing the right game. So I played the 64 version for a little bit, but got that corrected fairly fast. I really enjoy it. I
Yeah.
think it's a lot of fun.
It's a great game. That came out when I was I would have been a junior in high school.
1992.
Yeah,
Very cool.
maybe a sophomore. Right in there,
Right in
somewhere. Yeah. But we used to, we would play that thing all damn night.
Nice.
And it was a fun game. That's what it was back then. You only had 8 characters,
hmm
which was just fine. You had your limited amount of tracks. Well, the nice thing is when you're playing this game, if you're playing it by yourself, it has a split screen. Well, it has split screen all the time when it's 2-player also. But when you're playing by yourself, it's kind of cool because you can either turn on the rear view mirror
Mm-hmm.
or you can turn it on where you can see the whole map and you can see all the characters on the screen.
Yes.
So that's nice. And then if you're playing 2-player, then player 1's on the top and player 2's on the bottom. So when you're playing this game, you only have 8 racers. So in order to get to the next stage, you have to come in at least in 4th place. So you get 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, you're fine. But the other ones, you have to use a continue. And I think you only get 3 continues. Is that right?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So, so you played this on the Switch, I assume.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So I had this on the Super Nintendo way back in the day, which was awesome. It was one of the games I played in high school, played it in college. We would have little tournaments going
nice.
on. So especially battle mode. Have you done battle mode?
I haven't done battle mode.
Oh shit, dude, we got to pause this thing. You son of a bitch.
What the fuck was that?
Oh man, I hate this game. Why are we playing this? No, you gotta love to hate this game. So
Man, that ice map.
So what do you think of battle mode?
It's a lot of fun. I can see
Yeah.
where a lot of friendships could be made and lost,
All on the same night.
all in the same night.
Yeah, so I kind of forgot about this. That was better left in nostalgia land. But we would play battle mode all night long. So if you won, you stayed in. And so the whoever lost had to give their controller to somebody else, and you just keep
Okay.
playing and playing and playing.
So kind of like a tournament type of.
Yeah, just like a tournament type thing. And God, it's so much fun, but damn, is it hard?
It's rough.
Yeah.
Battle mode kind of made me motion sick a little bit.
Well, and back then it was a lot smoother on those old TVs than it
Yeah.
is now. Obviously, just like anything else. But yeah, battle mode was where it was at because you go in at the 50 cc's and the 100 cc's and the 150 cc's and all that, and you had to win that to open the next one, and that it was all
Right.
fine. And you could do time trials and things like that. But the battle mode, I mean, that's where you got to screw over your friends
Yeah.
a lot. Oh, I can't believe you beat me.
Well, you got me on the very first map, though.
I
Just
did.
trying to get the hang of things.
It probably didn't help that we threw out 50 freaking green shells and they're bouncing all around.
Well, yeah, I mean, I suppose one could raise the question of who actually got who, because at some point I lost track of whose shells were
Right.
whose, and we're just getting hit.
Yes.
So
Oh, good time. Good
that
time.
was fun.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Thank you. 3 hours freaking later, but whatever. No, it wasn't that long. But so okay, well, let's get into the characters real quick.
Cool.
Okay, so we have 8 characters. We have Mario, Luigi, the princess, Yoshi, Bowser, Donkey Kong Jr., and Koopa Troopa. Oh, and then Toad.
And Toad.
So who's your favorite?
You know, I gotta go with Mario.
You're going with Mario. Why's
Yeah.
that?
I've always liked Mario. He's always been my favorite character, and I know that's super like typical. It's like, picking your favorite Pokemon as one of the starter Pokemon. But
Right?
I do. I genuinely like Mario. I like the way that his character is proportioned on the screen. It on these older games like that, it makes it easier to control,
Yes.
to stay centered, and I like the way his cart handles. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just that's kind of my go-to.
Right on. Well, the cool thing is back then all the carts were the same.
Right.
It was just your different players. So Mario and Luigi, they were your average. They had average speed, average acceleration, average handling,
Right.
and whatnot. And then I like Koopa Troopa just because he has really good handling. The problem with playing with Koopa Troopa, especially if you're doing the races, is you're always fighting with Luigi and Yoshi. And Luigi will come up with that damn star, and so you're trying to pass him, and of course then you touch him and you lose because he's got a star rock in it
Right.
there. I used to try to play with Toad because he had the best acceleration, but if you can't handle the car, what's acceleration doing for you? But then you got Donkey Kong and Junior and Bowser. They're actually the fastest, but
Interesting.
you got to get that damn car moving. And if you bump into anything, you lose your speed. But that's what I kind of liked, is that the carts were all the same, just your characters are a little different.
Right.
So you picked a character based on your style. Yoshi was always fun. He had good acceleration too.
Yoshi is a fun character.
Yeah. So, and then of course, they have superpowers, weapons, whatever you want to call it. Yoshi's dropping the eggs, which causes the players to, spin out and, lose all your coins and all that. Which, why the hell do they put coins in this game?
I have a hard time understanding that.
Yeah. What I've noticed though is when we're playing it, if you have coins and you get hit, you don't spin out. You just lose a coin or two.
So it kind of acts as a buff.
Yeah. But the second you run out of coins, you get spun out. Jerks. But yeah, so they, and then Donkey Kong Jr., he throws bananas. And then Toad and Princess, they have those little shrinking mushrooms. You got to love those.
I hate those.
You do. And then Bowser, of course, has fireballs, and Koopa throws shells.
I hate the fireballs as well.
Well, we got to quit messing with those people.
I suppose.
So if you're playing as Mario, So when you're playing by yourself, you always have one character that's out to get you.
Yes.
So is Bowser the one that's after Mario?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
See, I had to replay this game. I've been replaying it for a couple weeks now, and yeah, I went with Yoshi and I went with Koopa Troopa and a little bit of Toad, and so I was fighting all those guys. So that's awesome that Bowser's the one picking on Mario, as it should
As
be.
it should be.
Right.
Keeps with the story.
Yeah. And a lot of those characters, 6 of the 8 characters actually kept being in all the Mario Karts.
Yeah.
You know.
It's interesting that this one has Donkey Kong Jr.,
Yeah.
whereas on the new one, he hasn't officially been announced yet as a character.
No, he hasn't. But Donkey Kong replaced Donkey Kong Jr. in like your 64 and the GameCube and
Okay.
and all that, and then Wario replaces Koopa Troopa for the
Okay.
longest time, and then they bring Koopa Troopa back, I think, in Mario 8.
Okay.
And I could be wrong on that, but I think that's where they brought him back. But yeah, you have the 4 different race cups, and consisting of 20 tracks. So there's 5 in each track, which is easy enough. And then so you have a dirt track and an ice track, and then you have King Koopa's track or the Ghost Castle or what have you, and whatnot. And you get all the power ups. Anywhere from getting the speed mushroom to getting a banana or the star.
Right.
We're not cool enough to get lightning and the blue shell, but the red shell was the one you wanted back then.
Yeah, that's the shell to have.
Yeah, so that heat-seeking one, that was really cool. I know later stages they brought that blue shell out, the blue shell of wonder.
Yes. Good way to put it.
Yeah, unless you're first place, then it's the shell of death, right? These damn microphones, we got to fix those. But anyway, so I don't know if you remember playing the track. You're in the Ghost Castle or whatever it is.
Yes.
Did you ever use the feather?
No.
So if you look on those, there's like this little ledge, and like if you can go straight, you get rid of like half the board. And anyway, if you can get the feather as one of your power ups, you can go straight and hit the feather and land on it, and you can go from 8th place up to 1st, just lickety split.
Wow. See, I have always wondered what that area
That little
was
platform?
for. Yeah.
Yes.
I've drove off it plenty of times.
I'm sure you have, because why wouldn't we? Or you drive through the fence and then you end up in mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always great. So yeah, those are great spots to have that feather.
Nice.
So the feather power up, it's pretty underrated. I don't always want that. I know when we were playing the battle mode. Yeah, the battle mode with the ghost. Oh man, I love that. That's awesome. Just wait for you to get something good and steal it from you.
The ghost is great.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those love-hate power-ups.
Oh, absolutely. And the star, you can get a star, and that was always a fun time, especially in battle mode. I'd always wait for you to come and try to touch me, and then kick it in there. But we had that one track where we were just following each other around. You're waiting for me to use mine, and I'm waiting for you to use yours.
We both had the star at the same time.
Yeah. So, but I thought that was a pretty clever way to do it. Starting with the balloons.
Yeah.
And trying to pop them out on the other person, because I haven't played the newer ones in a while. Does Mario Kart 8 have a battle mode?
I can't say for certain. I believe they do.
Yeah.
I believe they have an online version.
Okay.
I played quite a bit of the Mario mobile racing app. That was a lot of fun.
I haven't tried that one.
I haven't done a lot of the multiplayer on Mario Kart 8. I am going to go off on a side tangent about that, though. One thing I hate about Mario Kart 8 is the gliders.
Oh, yeah?
I can't stand the gliders, and I'm so thankful they're not going to be in the new one.
Why not? They probably are. They probably just don't call them gliders.
I heard they're not going to be there.
Okay.
I have heard official confirmation that they are gone.
Well, isn't like Princess Peach riding a bullet or something in one of those?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But as long as they don't have those stupid hang gliders on.
Then you'll be fine. Oh, that's too funny. But yeah, so So this was, it was real basic. And, you like I said, you just run around the track. You got to get first through fourth, and then you just keep going. And then it opens up the next CC, power level. I will say that firing this game back up within the last 2 weeks to play through it, the 50cc, I remember, so freaking slow.
It is.
And then you get to the 100, and you're like, oh shit. Yeah, this is a game, all right.
Yeah, 100's almost too much.
Almost too much. And then I get to the 150, and I just can't do it. The nice thing about the Switch is they have the one where you can open up everything.
Yes.
And play it. So I had to do that just to kind of play with it a little bit more. But it gets hard, and for this old man, he just he's not as good as he used to be. That's for darn sure. But what a great game.
Too many controllers.
Well, and that there's a little truth in that too. I know when we were talking RC Pro-Am, we were talking about games in the day, and we kind of went off on a tangent and started talking PlayStation and whatnot, and the newer games. But this one was right back in that time frame when RC Pro-Am 2 came out. And what a superior game.
This game's a lot better than that one.
Yeah. So it's the characters.
I'm sure
it's got to be the characters.
It couldn't be the mechanics or the graphics.
No. Well, the graphics are awesome. What are you talking about? Or are you talking about how good the RC Pro-Am graphics are?
The RC Pro-Am.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I
still
see.
Call it Pro-Arm.
Oh my god, you got to let it go.
I have not had a problem letting that game go.
You haven't, huh? Okay. So I know this is going to be a short episode for Mario Kart, but it definitely deserves as much love as it can get.
Definitely.
Obviously, they've made this game better, but what a good stepping stone, building block, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing for the time that it came out, the technology that it has in it, the handling that it has in it. I mean, it's one of those games. The battle mode may be a little questionable, but it's definitely one of those games that it's really stood the test of time. You could put the controls in any generation's hands, and they'll pick it up in 5 or 10 minutes and have a blast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They had the jump mechanic in there, which that kind of took a little bit of time to remember. I mean, my muscle memory is not playing like it did back in the 90s.
Sure.
But you get that in there, and just as if you're playing the newer Mario Karts, you get that rhythm and you keep going with it. You're mastering the track in no time.
Yeah, it's a game that's very easy to pick up on.
Yeah, and the old version, this version we're talking about, they don't have all the DLC and stuff.
Right.
And they didn't put in new characters halfway through and so on and so
transaction.
Right, so they didn't have all that, and so I think it's great that they had a solid game way back then.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think anybody could play this, and I don't know if you noticed or not, but you don't see my Super Nintendo sitting up on that shelf, do you?
I don't.
Now, I did happen to make it downstairs. It's sitting in one of the boys' rooms.
Okay.
But the Super...
good use.
It is, but there's only 4 games down there for it. I knew that the next system was coming out. We were going to get an N64, and I needed money for it. And so all those Super Nintendo games went in a garage sale.
That's so sad.
It is very sad. And this is one of the games that got sold off. Everything. Like I said, only 4 games left, and we had the Super Scope, and we had the Mario Paint, and the blah blah blahs, and all these wonderful games. Super Metroid, every Super Nintendo game I had, except for the 4 that are there, are gone.
That's depressing.
And I'm not rebuying these games.
They're very expensive.
They are very expensive. So I am super stoked that the Switch, when the Switch 2 comes out, that they are not getting rid of the Super Nintendo library.
I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
I'm excited that they're going to add the GameCube library too.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be super cool.
I cannot wait. Because somebody was dumb enough to sell Luigi's Mansion. And my kids have not forgiven me for that. In fact, Christopher picked that up in that GameCube collection where he got all those games in the GameCube for like $800.
Yeah.
It's in there.
Nice.
And I thought, oh, this is awesome. We found our copy. And they're like, no, give it back. So he's afraid I'm going to sell it.
So I take it you haven't got to play it yet.
No, I don't think he's going to let me. I think I'm going to have to wait and
Wait for the Switch 2.
play it on the Switch too. But again, like I said, that's probably a year out at least, which is fine. Get all the bugs worked out.
Sure.
For me, I mean, if you pick one up day one, you can certainly come over and show it off. I'll let you. Or I'll wait for the OLED version of it to come out.
Yeah, that is a thought too. That is a thought too.
But yeah, the GameCube games is what's really going to get me to buy that. The Mario Kart game. Yeah, so there's 2 reasons right out of the gate for me to get a Switch 2. But there's so many reasons for me not to, right at this moment. Is there anything else we should talk about before we score this game?
Yeah, so out of all the Mario Karts that you've played, what's your favorite Mario Kart, and then what's your favorite track?
Oh, shit. I wouldn't even know where to start. I could barely tell you on this game. I didn't really get into the Double Dash series on the GameCube. I know my boys absolutely love that game, and I saw them playing it the other day. I'm like, what the hell are you playing? Obviously, it was Mario Kart.
Sure.
And they're like, Double Dash. I'm like, oh, okay. And I just walked away, But I've played just a little bit of all the others, and I really don't have a favorite right now. I guess I'm going to have to play some more video games.
Definitely.
How about you?
I really do like Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
It's probably my second favorite Mario Kart. Number 1 is going to have to be the Nintendo 64 Mario Kart, mostly because that was the first time I was ever exposed to it.
Okay.
Being a kid over at my friend's house, trying to hold that wonky controller and whatnot. But I loved it, and Rainbow Road is my all-time favorite map.
Yeah.
On every Mario Kart rendition that there is.
Nice.
I'm partial to the N64 because I said, that was the first experience I had. But yeah, I absolutely love Rainbow Road and the headaches that come along
that go with it. Is that one on the Switch?
I don't know.
Oh, we're going to have to look that up.
Yeah, we might have to check that out.
Yeah, because I know we have the Nintendo 64 downstairs, and we have most of the games for that one still because, we do.
Right.
But I don't remember if it's down in there or not. And I just don't remember it. Which is fine.
And I don't know if it's on the Switch.
All right, well, we're going to fire that up and find that out. But let's score this game.
Cool.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'm definitely going to give it I think I'm going to give it a 93.
93, okay.
A game play again and again. I love it. I need to play it again. And when you start getting into some of the multiplayer modes with your friends, it sort of revamps your excitement for the game. At least it does for me anyways.
Yeah.
It's something I know I'm going to play again. And so, yeah, I give it a 93. I think it's timeless. It's excellent.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. I know it's not necessarily the best thing for podcasting to agree with your co-host. But, if I go and I base this purely on nostalgia and playing it with all of my friends in high school and college and whatnot, like I was saying earlier, dude, it's a 99 for me.
Nice.
It just really, truly is. Now, to fire this thing up within the last 2 weeks and start over playing it, well, there's a lot of frustration coming out. So she's going to lose some points. And so I'll go down to a flat 90. It still keeps it. I mean, it's still an A.
Yeah.
It's still a gameplay again and again. But, after playing with you this morning, it might actually creep down to an 89.
Really?
Yeah. Throwing out freaking banana peels and shit at me.
Because of the shells?
Well, there's that. God. But no, this is a game that I just love to hate.
I love to hate.
It really is. I know hate's a strong word, but But no, I
Oh,
do. I love this game. I think they did a phenomenal job. I think they dropped it at the right time.
yes.
I think it was, they made some bold strides there. They put Princess Peach in there.
Hmm.
I'm sure to get, so you can have your sister playing. I mean,
Right.
girls play video games.
They do.
Oh, absolutely. And, when you grow up and be a real boy, you'll know
What are you
that.
gonna tell me next? They fart too?
And snore.
I know about the snoring.
You do
Yeah,
know about the
I know
snoring.
about this.
But yeah, I think they threw that in there for for the girls to play. But of course, they're playing with Yoshi and all
Yeah,
the other characters too, and Mario. They don't care. But I thought that was a nice touch. If they were trying to expand their player base.
definitely. That's one thing that I have always really liked about Nintendo and appreciated is how inclusive they are and how intentional they are in trying to develop games and systems for, you know, the different genders or for the whole family and the
Right.
way that they market things. I think it's really it's genius.
Right. Now, I don't know if I would get. I probably could have got my dad to play this back then. Maybe.
Maybe.
More likely, mom.
Mm.
Mom probably would have played before dad would have. But she could have picked this game up and she could have played it
Yeah,
easily.
easily.
Now, I would have probably lapped her, but that's okay. And she probably wouldn't score it the same way that we are, but that's okay. What else? Is there anything else we need to talk about for Super Mario Kart?
That's
Or is
that's
that it
all
for
I
us?
can think of.
Yeah.
We're gonna definitely have to fire the Switch up here and see if they've got the Nintendo 64 Mario Kart on there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not a deep game.
No, no, there's not a whole lot to it, but I do think it's a necessary game.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna have to play another game.
Yes,
I know that we've both played and beat Limbo.
yes,
So why don't we knock that out for our next game?
excellent.
Does that sound all right? I mean,
Yeah.
it. We played 2 puzzle games.
Yep,
Then we went to the Zelda, and now we just got done doing 2 racing games.
right.
It wasn't really the intention to do 2 racing games back to back, but I think for the timing, it was the right spot to put it.
I think so.
So I'm okay going back to a puzzle game,
Cool.
puzzle adventure game there,
Cool.
and then maybe we get to a beat 'em up.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
A little Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's Revenge,
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out. It's not quite a beat 'em up game.
Yeah,
But yeah, let's head up with Shredder's Revenge and,
Cool.
and knock that out because we both played it. We both dig on that one.
yeah, that's a good game.
Show it some love, and then probably when that one goes out, we're probably gonna have to get a poll out to figure out the next game, and kind of go from there.
Right.
What are you thinking?
I think that would be excellent.
Okay. Well, then we will let you guys go and see you on the next one. If you like what we're doing here, please subscribe to the podcast. Check us out on the Discord and on the YouTube and all that good stuff. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, have a good night, everyone.